Today's video will be the ultimate guide for business owners on how to use voice and AI agents in 2026. We're going to start off with a demo to show how this works, walk you through the tech and all of the processes behind it, as well as give you tools and a strategy on how you can go ahead and seriously start using AI in your business. So without further ado, let's get straight in. Over here, I just have a quick AI agent demo. And this is a voice agent for accountants, and the purpose of this is to show you the capabilities of these agents. So now let's go ahead and start by calling the AI agent.
Hey there, this is Clara from David Ross Accounting. How can I help you today?
Yeah, Clara. So a friend of mine recommended me to David. So I was wondering, tax season is coming soon, so I wanted to go ahead and be on top of my taxes.
Tax season is definitely a busy time, so planning ahead is smart. What type of tax preparation services are you looking for? Personal taxes, business taxes, or both? And do you have a preferred date and time for an initial consultation?
Yeah, I was looking for both types. Pretty much as soon as possible is when I'd love to do it. So I think maybe Wednesday.
Wednesday works well. What time would you prefer on Wednesday? I can check David's availability for you.
I was thinking maybe 11 a.m.
Great! David is available at 11 a.m. on Wednesday, November 26th. Would you like me to book that time for you?
Yeah, let's go ahead and lock that in.
Perfect! To book your 11 a.m. appointment on Wednesday, November 26th, I'll need your full name and email address for confirmation.
Yeah, my name is Azim, spelled A-Z-I-M. My last name is Kodorov, so that's spelled K-O-D-I-R-O-V.
Thank you, Azim. And what's your email address?
It's azim@gmail.com, so just my name at gmail.com.
Excellent! Your appointment is confirmed for Wednesday, November 26th at 11 a.m. at our downtown office. You'll receive a confirmation email shortly at azimgmail.com. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
Nothing else. I appreciate you. Thank you. So as you saw over there, that was just a quick run of this agent, and you were able to see how it greets me, takes in my name and my email, goes ahead and checks availability, and then books an appointment straight onto a calendar. And a use case for an accountant is just one of the many use cases we've built over here at Inspire. If you're a business owner that feels a bit overwhelmed by AI, you can go ahead and schedule a free consultation with me using the first link in the description. I'm limiting those free spots to only 3, so go ahead and grab your spot fast. So what we are going to be doing right now is I'm just going to be going through these slides, but at the same time, I will be switching and kind of drawing out those concepts so you can actually understand how this works and how exactly voice agents can make a positive impact. And so phone calling is what I like to call the biggest unseen business leak, because businesses might be losing 50 to 100K or even more per year without noticing. And the main reason is because of missed calls. Because in this day and age, people have short attention spans, they don't have much patience, they're obviously going to move on to your competitors fast. So taking on every missed call is just a great opportunity, considering businesses miss anywhere from 30 to 50 or even more. And so after hours, weekends, if you could just put something there to capture those people and not let them go to your competitors, it would be great, wouldn't it? And so once again, just going ahead and expanding on this problem, businesses are usually open from morning to the evening, but 40% of calls in most businesses actually happen outside of business hours. So you could literally be losing 40% of all of your leads. And here's where the ROI calculator demo actually comes in. I've actually gone ahead and developed this free tool. It's just the Voice AI ROI calculator. And here you can just input some simple numbers like how many calls you get per month, what percentage of calls you miss, this is usually around 40%, and some other numbers. And so from there, after you fill in the numbers, it will go ahead and show your results. So we'll get to a demo of this in just a second, but just know that our team has developed this tool to go ahead and compare all of your costs. And so there are certain spots where I like to go ahead and ask a few open-ended questions. So how many calls are you receiving per day? What is your missed call rate, and what is your average deal value? I would take a second to pause this video and critically understand what these numbers are like and whether they mean much to you or not. And so this is where Voice AI comes in. I don't like to focus on Voice AI first. I like to go ahead and examine the problem, because if you don't have a problem to begin with, usually as long as you're accepting around 90% of calls and are available on after hours and on weekends, you wouldn't really need Voice AI in that situation. But the most logical pathway to recovered revenue here is just a 24/7 coverage, the instant response times, the instant follow-up, as well as just the fact that you're going to miss 0 opportunities. Are all of the opportunities going to be closed? Of course not necessarily, but a good portion of them will. And so as for the cost savings, there's less burnout, there's higher efficiency, and there are just a bunch of other benefits. As I said before, you can pause this video and run your own numbers. I'm actually going to do a demo of this right now. And so here I am back in the Voice AI calculator, And let's just go ahead and run a sample business here. So let's say I'm an HVAC business. I have around 5 to 10 employees, and we usually get around 15 calls per day. So that would be around 450 calls per month. And let's say right now we're missing around 30% of calls because the technicians out there are going ahead and working, and they simply don't have time to always answer the phone. There are also weekend calls that are often missed. And so for the average deal, the customer value, let's say a single job is worth around $800, and let's say one person is currently handling the calls. For some HVACs, it might be 0, but here let's just assume it's around 1. And for the number of people that are handling calls, sometimes there are 0 people handling calls, and you're not really paying them anything. And if you're working 40 business hours per week, and your conversion rate is around 25%, these would be your results below. So as you can see over here, we have a very interesting situation. There are no cost savings because there's simply nobody handling the phone. But because you're handling the phone 24/7 and not missing any of the calls, you're actually able to recover a fair number of jobs. And this leads to some pretty good uplift over the year. And as a business owner, if this is already something you're enjoying, once again, you can go ahead and book that free consultation with me below to discuss your first step in AI for completely free. And of course, there's really no human agent handling these calls, but if a conversation is around 4 minutes long, it's going to cost on average around 36 cents. And here, of course, we're going to have the human team not costing anything. It is costing the technicians their time, for example. But this isn't the most important part. At the bottom here, you can actually go ahead and click on Get Personalized Recommendations, and in just a second, it will go ahead and generate that for you. And so over here, it gives you some nice information. I've actually trained it on my own information on how voice agents work. So it goes ahead and gives you this bunch of advice. And so now let's get back into this before we switch again, and we are continuing with the tech myth. And so what owners think is that it's too advanced for their business, they need engineers, it's risky, and that the setup takes forever. But what if I told you that there are little to no technical skills required to maintain the system? No coding, simple systems, and it goes live in days. And so to hammer in this concept, I'm actually going to go ahead and give you a quick visual to understand this. And so imagine over here, you have a customer calling. This is going to be our first box, and what it leads directly to, if you were to implement a voice agent, would obviously be the voice agent. The voice agent can be hooked up to your current number, it can be added to your website, but the point is the same. If someone is calling or needs help, the voice agent is there. And so how this voice agent works, on a simple level, the first box over here is a platform called Retell, ElevenLabs, and Vappy. And what those do is they allow you to essentially write up the instructions for your voice agent, go ahead and give it the voice that you want, etc. So think of these platforms as kind of the actors in a theater. Those will determine what a customer actually sees, so how the voice agent speaks and how it behaves. Next up, we're going to have a platform like NAN or Make.com. And what these do is they essentially handle all of your admin work, all of the booking CRM stuff that you would need. And so either of these two platforms will work together with Vappy, Retell, or ElevenLabs, and they can book appointments into your calendar, save people to the CRM. And another thing that they can do is things like SMS confirmation. So after somebody books an appointment, they can instantly receive an SMS confirmation so that they don't forget. And so this is really what voice agents are on a simple level. But what I like to talk about it as is like switching from mail to email. So you don't need to know how email works behind the scenes, all of the complex computer stuff. And the same thing is with the voice agents. Go ahead and swap out email for voice agents and realize that you don't need to understand how a voice agent works to use them effectively. You can just put in voice AI into your business once and just drive those powerful results. And so the 5 business pains I've seen in my time in voice AI that it solves are missed responses, staff burnout, limited hours, lost follow-up, and callbacks. And those usually work in pairs or even more. So for example, if you're missing calls, you have to call them back. But if you're not missing any responses to begin with, you're not going to need to call people back. And the same thing is with lost follow-up and limited hours. If you're actively missing people, you have to go ahead and follow up with them. But if you have something that works 24/7, you don't have to follow up. So this is just one of the things that we did for a Texas insurance agency. I'll have a video on this exact project coming out, but in essence, this business had multiple operations. It had insurance services, financial planning, and they had something educational. And their annual revenue was kind of limited by the capacity, the high operating costs, and their high spending. And so as you can imagine, the staff was overwhelmed. There were a bunch of missed calls, and many leads were just never contacted. And if you still think that voice agents are complex, simple voice agents can still be powerful. In fact, single purpose agents, the ones that just have one clear job and can be set up relatively quickly are pretty much ideal for most businesses, because there's always one problem that's the biggest one, so you can go ahead and tackle that first before moving on instead of tackling all of them at once. And so how to know whether you are ready for this or not is to ask yourself these questions. Do you miss 5 or more opportunities per week from missed calls? Is your staff frustrated by these missed calls? And would something like 10K in monthly recovered revenue matter to you? And so if you find yourself answering yes to any question, you're probably losing money daily. And so this is the part where I kind of like to go ahead and give 3 options to people. And so the first pathway here is doing it yourself. So I actually have a free school community where you can access a bunch of resources on how to get your voice agent running. And you can also use my free tools like the ROI calculator at any time. So this is actually a fairly decent path for those people who are looking to do it themselves and learn something new along the way. And so pathway 2 is the guided assessment, aka the AI audit. And so this all starts with your 30-minute consultation and continues with the full audit of your business, its processes, and much more. And from there you receive those tailored recommendations for your business, and you decide next steps for yourself. And as I mentioned before, the first person to actually book a free 30-minute consult from that ROI calculator website will receive one of those AI audits for completely free. So go ahead and do that right now. And so pathway 3 is going to be a done for you implementation. So there are many agencies out there, including mine, that will take care of a complete system, integrate it with all of your existing tools, run some testing on it, and support it on an ongoing basis. And this is what I've done with roughly 50% of projects. Other 50% usually prefers this AI audit. And so if you're ready to go ahead and take the next step, go ahead and either book that free consultation or join the school community. I've linked both in the description along with the ROI calculator, so you can access all of them, and in fact they're all free, so you're losing absolutely nothing. But ultimately the choice is yours. You can calculate what you're losing, assess what you can be gaining, and then transform from that vision. And so unlike many businesses, you now kind of understand the problem and the solution. And I know that if you've made it to the end of this video, you're really serious about this. And don't forget that the people who are first to take action are usually the first to get rewarded, so go ahead and take advantage of one of those free resources below. I'm committed to making this path the easiest one out there. But on that note, I do appreciate you for sticking with me to the end of this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.